Good afternoon. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Live Interviews with Connie Fuchsa. I have created this entrepreneurial series because I like to share with you guys entrepreneurs, people that saw a vision, saw a need in our world and decided to do something about it. And I also wanted you guys to understand that when someone decides to become an entrepreneur, that's a really big word and it may sound kind of scary, but it's somebody who is so passionate about something that they saw that they decided it had to be taken care of. And a lot of times it may seem that, it's magical, it's some super great thing that drops out of the sky, and people just pick it up and run with it. And absolutely the farthest from the truth. What I'm sharing with you is people that decided to do that, but have also stuck with it because we all run up against a wall, a barrier, people's opinions, problems, all different types of things. And these people are sharing with you not only their passion, but also how they chose to get around some of those obstacles and a lot of the successes that they're having in their business. So my goal is to share with you their businesses and also the goods and the bads about going through that business entrepreneurship. So today I have an amazing pleasure to introduce you to someone I just recently met. Super excited for you guys to meet Edyta Satchell. Edyta, thank you so much for being with me today.
Kanye, oh my goodness, thank you very much for having me. I've been following you. I've been listening to your, live sessions, and I'm so super proud to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. That's really kind. I appreciate that. Well, when I started this, I purposely did this to try to help everybody understand what this process is about because there's a lot of similarities, but there's also so many processes that everybody goes through that are a little bit different. So why don't you introduce us to you today? I'd really like you to share your story, who you are, where you've come from, what processes you've gone through to get to today's point, and where are you? What are you doing?
All right, okay. So my name is Edyta Satchell, and I'm originally from Poland, which I think you can tell by my accent. And I created such a global travel wellness company. Why? Why? Because I was the person who I am servicing today. So let me tell you a little bit about, what did I do in the past? Who am I helping? So I'm helping people who are traveling frequently. I'm helping those busy executives or not, non-executives, who have to spend hours on the go. They conduct the business on the go. They're trying to, balance work, life, which makes it, when we are traveling, it takes a lot of our time, but it makes it very difficult sometimes. And I was one of those people in the past. I've been working in the travel industry for over 20 years. I've done it all, you name it. And of course, I uh, traveled, as an executive quite a lot. There were situations that I had to travel every week. I was exhausted. I was tired. I wasn't looking good. I was, my face was pale, to be honest, even worse than that, but whatever. We're not going to go into the details, but many times I found myself in a situation that I traveled and what happened, how many times did you Kanye, or anyone else who's listening, when we traveled, it was something like we take a red-eye flight. Our flight is sometimes delayed, our luggage is missing, we arrive at our destination 7 a.m., and we know that at 7 a.m. our hotel room is never ready, right? Never. But at 8 a.m., we have to give a speech, we have to entertain our clients, we have to look our best, we have to feel our best, we have to perform at 100% all the time. And many times, what I hear from people I work with, it's like, Edyta, you know what? I was the person on that flight. I was, the person who got off the plane, and who did I see? I saw my manager. I saw my, prospect. I saw a guy who works for me. I didn't want to see them. I wasn't looking
Mhm.
my best. I ate something on the plane. I had a stomach cramp, and other things. I was swollen. My face, was swollen. I didn't wear any makeup as a woman, of course, right? And all these things that, happened to her or me or to him, um, I experienced, and I
Mhm.
decided I figured out there must be a better way of traveling. And someone
Mhm.
like me, who traveled, who worked in the travel industry, didn't know how to travel well, how to be healthy, how to be, full of energy. Because I had to produce for the companies I worked for. I worked for more than one, right, in the past. So they were looking at my results.
Nice, very interesting. You bring up something that's so unique. And this is one thing I love about talking to different entrepreneurs and experiences that they've had and ways that they've managed to detail a unique situation that we all experience, but we just don't see it. So this is exactly why I love doing this series, because I just love bringing out the creativity of the people that I'm talking to, the things that they've decided. And I just love sharing this. So you worked in the travel industry. You were traveling a lot yourself. You started to learn that you were having, difficulty with your body chemistry wasn't always working, which obviously we all feel. Maybe you decided to travel in your sweatpants and your gym clothes, and come to find out you got a layover, and then you had to pop off the plane and get be prepared to do a presentation or meet with a client. So a lot of these things happen to a lot of us. I mean, guys and girls. Girls have makeup, right? But guys also have messy hair from falling asleep in the on the plane, or the swelling, or those kinds of things. So give us a little more detail. I mean, we can all relate to some of that stuff, but give us a little more detail about what it is that you do to help people overcome some of these things.
Excellent. I love the question. So thank you for asking it. So imagine this. When we travel, we have our travel itinerary, right? We know exactly where we are at a certain point of the day, of the within a week, or within our travel itinerary. We know which hotel we are staying at, which airline we are taking, which flight we are on. So what I do, I create travel. I call this beauty for ladies and youthfulness for men, um, itineraries on the go. I call this Go with the Glow. So it's
Mm,
very highly customized. It's done based on um, destination. So it's super important. So a lot of us, when we travel, a lot of executives, busy executives, they don't have time for things like, oh my God, what should I, what should be my beauty routine? So I always create a plan for them, which is a
mhm,
wellness plan. The wellness plan starts with the moment we are planning our trip. And this is whether we go on vacation once a year, whether we travel on business frequently.
mhm,
What I always tell the people I work with, my clients, is just keep in mind the moment you think about your flight that you are just about to schedule, think about things which are happening on the plane so that you can start your wellness and health before you leave the house. So this
mhm,
is, I always talk about the thing which is called the before, the during, and the after. And this is my beauty
mhm,
itinerary or youthfulness itinerary that I create, which I start with this, the before, the during, which is I talk about things, I provide the recipe of your beauty or youthfulness routine on the plane. A lot of ladies are very much interested into, should I wear a makeup? Should I not? What should I do? I'm wearing this, face covering mask now. What should I do? Right. And
mhm,
whether it's a short haul flight, whether it's a long haul flight, we have to think about that. Same for
mhm.
men. And the during is also in destination. So, simple situation, I have an oily skin, and I think some of you can even see it, shiny all the time, and I'm working on this.
Looks like
But
it's glowing. It looks beautiful.
oh, thank you. And wherever I go, and even to a beauty salon or a beauty store to buy beauty products, I'm always told, hey, you know what, your skin is oily. And yes, this is no
Yes, I
secret.
know this.
And I know that. And they always give me this one cream, this one product, whatever it is, to use at home, to use it now. When I volunteer with the information, such as, you know what, 2 weeks from now, I'm traveling to India. and there is silence. They just don't know what to do with me. So this is what I advise my clients. This is the so-called the during as well, which is in destination. With my
Mm-hmm.
oily skin in India at this time of the year, my skin will be so dry, I will have no product to use. And it will be a disaster for someone who doesn't speak, the local language, it doesn't leave the hotel, or because sometimes we just cannot leave the hotel in this, traveling during pandemic. But this is the stuff that I teach and educate my clients. And of course the after, which is when you get home, what do you do? Think about the radiation on the plane. Think about what's happening with your luggage. Think about your supplements, your vitamins. Think about your
Mm-hmm.
beauty routine, which you should have when you get home, or youthfulness routine.
Mm. Oh my gosh. So such interesting stuff. Like you just brought up something that I'm thinking, gosh, I would have never thought of. Like, is your skin routine, gentlemen or ladies, comparable to what you're doing at home to where you're going? Who would even think about that, And maybe if you do, are you thinking about it enough that you're going to have all of the things that you need preparation wise, and all of the other interacting things that are happening while you're on the plane? There is so much interaction there is too. And who thinks about those kinds of things? So it sounds like your niche is so incredible for anybody who's going to be traveling whatsoever. I mean, there's so many pieces that go into this. Let's go back and talk a little bit about the business side of your business, because of course we want to hear about that too. I mean, I appreciate knowing about your business and what you provide, because so very important, and such just something that I just think people just don't think about, that really is very important to the overall health and well-being. I mean, you want to be healthy when you get to whatever your destination is, even if you're not working and you're not meeting clients. You're, hopefully having a good time relaxing. And maybe if you had a bad plane experience, or your skin's not healthy or your body's not healthy, then you're not going to enjoy it. So thanks for sharing that. But let's go back and talk about your business now. I mean, you started a business, and when you started that business, I mean, how did you go from saying, wow, this is really cool, to, you know what, I'm going to start this business and I have to set up a business structure? And what does that look like?
Oh wow, I have to tell you, it's a process. We know it, and sometimes it's a painful process. And before I started my set up my business, it's been a few years ago. I've done it. It's been a few years now. But the thing is, it's all about knowing when to start and having that business idea. And for a long time before I registered my business, I don't want to say I interviewed people, but I spoke to people. A taxi
Mm-hmm.
driver. I remember a woman, she
Wow.
was a driver, and Uber driver, and I asked her a question. What do you think about this? Strangers on the
Right.
street, pretty much. I asked my friends, what do you think about that? And I didn't say anything about I want to create a business, or I'm thinking about doing a business, but it's like, hey, what do you think about that? And I had a lot of different ideas before I came to this. So it's an evolving process, which takes
Mm-hmm.
time. And this is the process where I think it's the most fun, because once you come up with that idea, then the work starts, which is, register your business, make sure everything you are doing according to the legal, all the legalities, the taxes and other things that you have to have. So again, it's not easy as we know it.
Yeah, very interesting. So basically, you did market research on people that you didn't know and didn't have any idea what you were doing. You were just trying to get some feedback on some thoughts that you had about something that you thought really would be a benefit to the rest of us. So that's really interesting. I love that.
That's correct. Yes, this is what I did, because I didn't want the bias from my friends,
Yeah.
and they would say something like, "Oh, are you planning on doing this?" And then it's like, it's I would be, should I say, should I not tell them? And I preferred not to. So I did
Mm-hmm.
it on strangers. Seriously, a
Mm-hmm.
waiter, in a restaurant, a taxi driver, someone I met on the metro who was super friendly. Someone I saw every day when I was waiting for the bus. On the bus stop. So that's what I was doing.
I
Weird,
love
but
it.
you know what? I love
Very
it
unique
though.
way of doing market research. Very interesting. I like it. And we talked to somebody earlier this week or at the end of last week that was, talking about business. And one of the things she said is doing market research, how important it is knowing that your business fits into a spot that there's really a market for. Just because you think it's a good idea doesn't always mean other people are going to think so too. So I love that. That's really interesting. So tell us some of the other things that you brought along or you learned as you've been working through your business that were other expertise pieces that you needed that maybe you didn't know you needed before. Maybe some help or some other pieces that you decided, oh, you needed because you can't do all this by yourself.
I have to tell you, I mean, I've been a busy executive for many, many years, working for many corporations in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
moving into this, running my own business thing, whatever the thing is not easy because now you end up doing everything. In the past, you had
Mm-hmm.
people you were surrounded by people who were doing things for you. Someone was doing marketing and someone else was doing marketing, presentation. Someone else was doing sales. I was either coordinating or doing other things, managing people, etc. But then you come to realization like, oh my God, I'm on my own. Now I have to do it by myself. And can I do it? Probably I can, but not as well as this, someone who has that advanced knowledge or someone who's been doing this for a living. So it's about finding the right people who can help you with the things which you can do, but you are not as good as someone else. And initially, I struggled, I have to tell you. I had a few people who helped me with different things, but um, sometimes they have different visions. Sometimes they don't get the travel industry thing, and it's difficult to find someone who can understand it. And I'm the lucky one who was able to find the right people. And I'm super proud. I have a team of people working together and we understand each other very well. We understand the travel industry and it makes my life so much easier because I remember when I was talking to and I was looking for people like at the beginning, yeah, I, I was exhausted explaining to people who is a travel agent,
Mm-hmm.
what is the travel industry. I was exhausted and I even I told my husband, I said, I can't, explain it to someone else, again, what is the travel industry and that travel agents exist, right? So
Right. Right. That's really interesting that you say that because, well, two things that you said that I really wanted to hit on. One is having a team because, I talk about this a lot. Teams are not just, people that you pay on your payroll, but they're also people that surround you that help you with certain items. And, they may be mentors or they may be somebody else who, you do a little, you provide them some value and they provide you some value. So, and then there's people that you actually pay to take care of certain things that are in your business. And sometimes it's hard to get from that being all on your own and saying, do I have enough money to pay for these people? Do I have enough work to keep them busy? Just making that next step and taking those people on so that you can work on things that are better suited and grow in your business and are more surrounding your passion. So can you talk about that little bit of a balance for us, how you got from that point to the point where you said, I'm more valuable working on the business and what makes me excited?
I think it's more about I know how long it took me to do certain things, and the quality of the work was
Mm-hmm.
okay, but it took me a long time to do certain things, right? And I knew that if I pay, it doesn't have to be a lot because there are different websites. You have a lot of different like freelancers. I was
Mm-hmm.
introduced by my friends to a few websites, and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to select. I'm thinking, oh my God, if I can pay, and it's not that much to someone who can work on XYZ, and
Mm-hmm.
he or she's not charging a lot, my goodness, I can spend those hours doing different things, right, which are bringing business to me, sales calls, podcasts, presentations and other things, and other people are helping me at the same time. When I'm talking to you, I have people doing things for me that are coming next, right?
Yeah, I love that you're sharing that because that's so real and it's so important. I mean, we sometimes have a tendency as entrepreneurs to minimize our value because we feel like, oh, we can save a couple extra dollars so we can do some graphic work or we can do some website design or some of these things that we need done, when in fact we're better suited finding someone that can work on those things for us while we are doing that magic. So I love that you're sharing that. So talk to us a little bit about, since you have such a unique business, how did you decide how you were going to start talking to other people about this, how you share this unique proposition with people, and to try to expose your business to people, so for you to bring in clients, because you have such a unique business. And I think this is a really important point that people need to understand. There are ways to expose your business, whether it is a unique thing or there's one in a million. It's your unique proposition. So share with us just a little bit about how you do that.
So it's all about so-called finding your champions, someone who understands you, someone who knows you very well, someone who gets your idea very quickly, and someone who is connected. So it's all about reaching out to your friends, people who you used to work with, people, I don't know, on the street. Sometimes you just have this feeling that, you know what, like you feel like, oh, I feel like I've known that person for such a long time. Sometimes it happens. Things like finding people who value you, who believe in you. Sometimes they may not have to be your friends, but if they value you and what you created in the past when you worked with them, or when you were friends or childhood friends, it's the right time now. If you're thinking about creating your own business, running those ideas, and you're the heavier business, you can dust off all your old relationships, because you don't know where your champions are, or where your next lead is and your next sale is. So
Gosh, I love that. Finding your champion. That is so powerful. Thank you for sharing that, because you're absolutely right. There's so many people around us that understand what we're into, and may not be the people you think they are. So that's really important. I really appreciate that piece of advice. So tell us probably one of the biggest struggles that you've gone through once you decided to open your business, maybe something that could help somebody else. Like, I did this, and had I known now what I know, had I known then what I know now, that I would never have done this. Share with us some of those struggles.
it took me a little bit longer to come up with what you see today and what it is today. But I guess it's a process. And I was frustrated for a long time, because
Mhm.
I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I think about it, like, whatever, years ago, right? And we we have to, as we go through the process, we have to learn the process. We have to learn on our mistakes. But it's
Mhm.
always this little frustration, thinking, why didn't I why didn't I do it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is?
Right.
Because this is a brilliant idea, right? That's what we
Mhm.
think. But so we get that little frustration. Also, finding what took me time, finding the people who can help me. And
Mhm.
that little frustration that I had about, God, they are not getting what I'm saying. And I mean, especially
Mhm.
with such a new, because I hear from people all the time, oh, Edyta, I've never heard of this. It's such a unique service. It's a niche. And so I get a lot of compliments on that. And it's difficult sometimes to find people who can help you with with articulating what you want
Mhm.
to achieve, and in a
Mhm.
like a broadcasted way. So
Mhm.
that's, like I said, I'm lucky, but it took me time to find those people. And you have no idea how many drafts of my website I had in the past. I think five.
Sure.
So it definitely takes time, but I'm proud of what we've achieved and what we have today, and I'm just super happy with all the information that I can share.
Well, I really appreciate that honesty. I know sometimes it's hard to admit that we've gone through some struggles and maybe not gotten it right on the first try, or even the second try, or even the third try. And that, there's a lot of people that second guess us, we second guess ourselves. And I love that you shared that. And I appreciate your honesty, because I feel like there's so many people out there that you're either thinking about starting something, thinking about jumping in, or already have jumped in and maybe are just ready to throw in the towel, because unfortunately, our society is such that, if you're not, because of a lot of times, because of social media, everybody looks so perfect on TV, if you will, that people are so harsh on themselves because things didn't just work out like they had planned. So I appreciate that honesty, because you're very right. I mean, my website too, I've rewritten things at least, probably once a month. I go in there and tweak something, so it's all a learning process. But you are right. I love, my favorite quote at this moment of yours is finding your champions, because obviously you have people there backing you up and keeping you strong as you go through some of these struggles. So I really appreciate that. If you had a one go-to piece of advice, something that you always worked for you when you got into a ditch or a difficult spot, or something that kept you going in a high time, what would that be? What's your one go-to piece of advice you'd share with somebody else who may be struggling or may not, maybe getting ready to start something?
So, to one thing, what I did to build my business, I signed up for a business. I don't want to call this classes, but like we know Tony Robbins, who is
Mm-hmm.
the leader in the industry, David Bayer, signed up for David Bayer's business
Mm-hmm.
incentive. Helped me greatly. And from David, I learned one thing, which I want to share with everyone, which is timing. I used to be super frustrated, I must admit, with things like why didn't I, do this 3 days ago? Why is it taking me so long? Why,
Mm-hmm.
this person didn't show up? Why, I was supposed to meet this someone. I was supposed to write something. Why is it taking me this? Why someone canceled? Why, all those whys which I had. And then from
Mm-hmm.
David a year ago, I learned timing, the concept about timing. And I said, oh my God, ever since, for me, and there is a reason for those things, why they didn't happen to you. There are
Mm-hmm.
reasons for things why I didn't meet a person. There are reasons for things why
Mm-hmm.
my flight was delayed, why my luggage was lost. There are reasons for all those things which are happening in our lives. I just didn't understand it. Now I do. And my life is so much easier, I have to tell you. There is a reason why my boss was in a bad mood. There is a reason why, my train was delayed. I was late for a meeting. There is a reason for everything. And we just don't
Mm-hmm.
understand it. There was a reason why I didn't get the job, right? Or there is a reason why I needed to wait 6 months to find a job. And many
Yeah.
times when I went back and looked, at my life, I said, my goodness, thank God I didn't get the job 6 months ago as I wanted it, because now I got this one, right? And
Right.
the concept of timing, and it's like gold for me. It was eye-opening, and I just want to share with everyone, the universe, as David Bayer says, the universe will open up for you, and all those things will align: the people, the time, the date, the place, everything, and everything will come at the right time for you.
Nice. Nice. That is very powerful. Thank you for sharing it's so poignant. It's just though we do have a tendency just to constantly beat on ourselves. Why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? And such good advice. I really appreciate that. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you after today because they want to find out more about your business and how they can work with you or share your information or learn more about it, how can we get in touch with you after today?
Please go to my website, satchellglobal.com, all together. And I think you can see the spelling on the screen, which is great. There is contact us. There will be my telephone number, my email address, which is the generic one. Please feel free to contact me. I have a lot of great programs for individual travelers, but also corporations, because I implement travel wellness programs for corporations and their employees. So, and groups as well. So if you are traveling in a group to visiting a spa, or a weekend spa weekend, this is also a group, and I help people to get ready to that too.
Neat. What a neat idea. I was going to say, girls weekend, guys weekend, golf trip to another place, guys going to a bachelor party, whatever that is. Sounds like you can help all of them with all of that. So great information. I put in the comments your website, so anybody wants to see it, it's down in the comments below, so make sure you click on that. As we wind up, I just want to let everybody know we're broadcasting live on YouTube and on Facebook right now, but we're also going to be posting on LinkedIn as soon as we get done. Edyta and I both are going to be posting there, so make sure you click on there. If you want to go back because you missed something, you can go to my YouTube channel, or more importantly, you can go to my website, conniefuchsa.com, and there you can see this broadcast and replay, or any of the other broadcasts we've done for that matter, with these amazing entrepreneurs that we've been working with. And Edyta, I can't thank you enough for your time today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Connie. Really, it's a great pleasure to be with you here and talk about all those pleasures of our life, right? Business life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And guys, if you want more information about how to get on the series or other things that I do working with entrepreneurs to be able to fine tune that expertise and share those words that they need to be able to get right on their website and in their social media, that's what I do. Help those entrepreneurs get that message out better in a way that people can understand it and grow their reach exponentially. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Keep your eye out for our next Entrepreneurial Live interview next week. And again, thanks for tuning in and meeting Edyta Satchell. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.